feel of like what's going to be going on. That's about all I really have to say about that. But it all comes down to electrons. It all comes down to quantum mechanics. It all comes down to the basis of our reality, our atoms, which are commonly misrepresented. And most people think of them as these tiny balls floating through our bodies. That's not how atoms, molecules work necessarily. It's all about magnetism. It's all about electrolysis. It's all about electrons. It's all about the charges as they are pulled through your body and manipulated by different chemicals or different drugs or different, so on and so forth. You get the point. It's all essentially the same. So new thought, the law of attraction, new thought energy is what I'm going to decide to coin it. I think it's the closest representation I could come up with other than strictly viriya equanimity, which would be through our diligence, our energy, our positive electron output, we can achieve true balance for all beings and all people. So in that terms, viriya equanimity is along the basis of, I believe it's two of the strong pillars, or two of the pillars of Buddhism, and I can also relate it to many other different religions with that, but we can also come back to science, we can also come back to the electrons. Everything's connected. It's very interesting. It's the fabric of the universe, really. But back to the point, the atoms are not just balls, as we're commonly taught and what most people think of. They are tiny electromagnetic fields that probably have even smaller things in them that scientists believe are called quarks, and that knowledge hasn't really advanced too much lately. But essentially these balls that we're seeing is the last dimension that we can comprehend, and then beyond it is an even smaller dimension. It's very interesting stuff. But essentially they're not balls, they're just little condensed things of magnetism and electromagnetism, all that fun stuff, electrolysis. I'm just rambling now. Magnetism, electrons, electrical output, electrical charge. There we go. Fixed it. So they're not really these balls. If we could actually look at them, they would just devolve into energy? Who knows? Can anyone see in a dimension other than the third? Not me. But I'm aware of them. It's very obvious how their effect is. Even electromagnetic waves can have an effect on your molecules. It's been proven through various studies in relation to, say, cancer. There's new studies coming out daily. I mean, I could sit here and reference all day, and for as many studies as you find, sometimes you'll find one that's not. I don't know. The last one I saw was pretty convincing. I'll pull it up for next time, probably. But anyways. So yeah. Think about it like an ant on a tightrope. Think about it like an ant on a tightrope, and a tightrope walker on a tightrope. So a human being and an ant on this little rope, right? The human being can only walk forward or backward in 2 dimensions. The ant can go around in 3 dimensions. Because it can go north, west, east, south, and got 3 dimensions. Now say if the ant could get even smaller, it might be able to go through. It might be able to come back. It might be able to, you get what I'm saying. So since we can only comprehend 3 dimensions, we can't understand how that movement would occur through the rope on the micro scale if something was that small. So therefore there becomes the 4th dimension, in which everything beyond that small ball that we can tell is all theory, and it's all we don't understand. And the only thing that they can really prove off of it is, okay, based on how the electric charges changed within this small atom, we can theorize, and I mean photons and neutrons even, like we're talking within them, we're talking quarks. talking about how small those are and how they're affected by this magnetism, it's rather intense because you can see the electric charge just all of a sudden go missing out of them, essentially. It's very strange. And an electron itself, they haven't been able to prove that there's anything smaller than it inside of an electron. They've only been able to like show for the photons and neutrons that there was something small inside of them. So that's where we get to photons, neutrons, electrons. Basis of everything, essentially electrons matter the most. They're the largest electrical output charges that track throughout your body, throughout your mind, throughout the chemicals you output, throughout the chemicals that your glands input. It's intense. But anyways, that gets back to the new way of thinking, the new thought energy, law of attraction, new thought. What I'm proposing is new thought energy. It's based partially with the law of attraction, but it's a little bit more expanded upon, in which we apply science, we apply other religious concepts, we apply, millions of religious testimonials to how this has affected their lives, and we break it all down to the basics. We break it all down to the threads of all life, the electrons, the electrocharges. So I thank you all for your time, and we will continue tomorrow, probably about 10 p.m. Eastern, maybe 10:30. It'll all be relaxed. I'll see you all tomorrow.